Bill Heflin, you're seeing walking around there. He almost had a false start there, Dave and Bo. Bill's the type of guy like some of the older golfers who just want to go out and get it done.
What a great attitude, I'll tell you. Marianne, by the way, this year, after 4 years of bowling, is averaging 187. Tom.
Nice.
4 years of bowling, 187. That's fantastic. And you know what? With proper instruction, the right attitude, almost anyone can do that. If you get out and you bowl, and this note in front of me has it, join a summer league. I have already, Bo. I'm in my summer league.
It's going to be interesting, too. It's a family affair.
That's right. There'll be 8 of us going out there and competing hammer and tong against one another. An interesting thing, too, we're pitting the spouses against one another on opposing teams. So if Sandy cooks me a bad dinner or treats me improperly, I will thrust her with a triple.
Jim Beckler up in game number 2 here against Bill Heflin. Just in case you've joined us, Bill Heflin a winner in game number 1 against Kerry Logan, a whopping 245 to 220. Now taking on Beckler, who is, we saw Mr. Beckler a little earlier in the year over the Super Bowl in Erlanger, Kentucky, in week number 3. He's back looking to pick up the 7-pin spare in week number 8 here at LaRue Lanes in Highland Heights.
Tom, I have to tell you, yesterday were certain gentlemen last week that we had on the show who couldn't quite make the 7-pin. Do you recall?
Yes, I do recall.
He was still having his problems yesterday. You have to get out. You got to work on them single pin spares. They're not that tough. Chris Trentkamp is the one we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And Chris is one of the most likable people I've met in a long time, and he's about 0 for 30 as far as I've seen on 7-pins.
He was having a tough time with that awkward southpaw motion of his. Bill Heflin. Second frame. He's back on the strike trail.
We talk, you know, Tommy, Bo, we talk about not having to do certain things to be a good bowler. Right here. Contrasting styles, if there ever were two, we're looking at them in this match. Bill Heflin, slow, methodical, nice roll on the ball. Nothing fancy, just hits his target time after time again. Same roll, boring strikes, 10 pins in the pit. Now, Jim, on the other hand, contorts a little bit. He straps the ball, he revs it up, he throws it out, and he throws pins all over the place. You don't have to be something special to be a good bowler. Just get out and bowl.
24-year-old from Kingpin Lanes does his bowling over there. His mechanic over there, Bo.
That's correct. Very good one, I understand. You know, Jim rode a 300 game last week during the qualifying to be here on the show today, and we are going to present him with a ring on behalf of LaRue Lanes.
Here, we'll take a look at it. Let's watch the replay. Let's watch the reaction. He trips out the 6-8. Now watch the headpin. Goes straight back, sends a 3 to the wall. The 3 kicks out the 6. He likes it. We like it. The match is all tied up.
Beckler qualified with the 747 to go along with that 300 game that he rolled. And another strike. I think you get a chance to see how he did the 747.
Both players lined up, setting up the match. They're playing both lanes identically, 13 and 14, right over the second arrow or 10th board. And the ball winding up in the 1-2 time after time again.
Not many spare situations here. See a little bit of the crowd, Bo, with some of the BPA proprietors in there?
That's correct. We have a lot of proprietors here this morning because they're all going to participate in the parade this afternoon. We have a couple entries. We have Sam Coleman here from Coleman Lanes, Tom Murphy, our president of the BPA from Stones, Dan and Jerry Bettinghouse from out at Eastgate, and Doug Martin showed up this morning. A little early for Doug from Super Bowl.
Come right around on 275 and says hello. Speaking of coming right around, Bill Heflin on that strike trail with 4 straight as we take a break midway through game number 2. When we come back, the completion of the Heflin-Beckler match on Hudipol's TV King of Bowling. Highlands Heights, Bo Hudipole, and Dave Newrath. I'm Tom Verrado. We're midway through game number 2, the Jim Beckler, Bill Heflin match. And you're taking a look at the back, now the front, of Jim Beckler.
And we're going to see the side here in a minute.
The big southpaw.
Right there, and another absolutely perfect shot.
The pride of New Richmond, mechanic over at Kingpin Lanes, Jim Beckler. Gets the most use out of all the pins, I guess, a shot like that.
Are you the frustrated big-time wrestling announcer or something? Sometimes when you do that,
no, I'm not. Believe me,
No,
I'm not a wrestling aficionado. Beckler on the left lane. Oh,
look out! He almost got away with it.
big smile on his face after that. I guess you feel almost relieved when you come away with only one pin standing, Dave.
I guess that was big 4 written all over it. Then it wound up as a 4-7. Then it wound up as a 4-pin. Yes, that was a break. Look out!
Ooh.
You
Kind
got
of banged into the ball return on that one. Fortunate enough to pick up the spare. Bill Heflin now in the 6th frame. Did either of you see the PBA King Louis Open yesterday? Did you get the? I know with qualifying it's kind of tough, but Dave, did you happen to see that?
I did not see it, but I've heard about it, and I've seen similar situations.
Unbelievable.
Tried to give it away on numerous occasions, and he still winds up with the title.
Just to back it up a little bit, as we see Bill Heflin try to pick up the 10-pin spare here in the 6th. Mark Baker had it all but one in the 10th frame. He left the 2-8 and was only able to take out the 2. So it opened the door for Walter Ray Williams, who had won last week, and all he had to do was get a mark in the 10th frame, and he left the 8-10. And ended up losing by 6 pins, but it was the I don't want it, you can have it type of game. And Baker won it by 7 pins. Bill Heflin, a strike.
To back up just a minute on Walter Ray, he's a world champion horseshoe pitcher. Okay, now let's back all this up and put it into perspective. Why is he so good? He's made 7 telecasts. No. He's made 5 out of the last 7 telecasts. What's that mean? Your arm swing is important in the game of bowling, and we alluded to it in our tip. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't say it enough. The arm swing might be the one most important thing that you can do, because Walter Ray is making a lot of money out there because his arm swing's straight.
Won last week's and finished 2nd in this week. Just take a look at the score. Very tight. 1-pin
advantage.
Oh!
Bill Heflin, I mean to tell you, this is as close as you're ever going to see it.
What do they say about an extra coat of wax? Look at that.
Let's take a look at it here.
Oh!
1/8 of an inch.
Just kissed it right down.
Jim Beckler is 1 pin down, a spare working against Bill Heflin's strike, immediately makes that 11. For all intents and purposes, he's 11 pins in the hole.
Boy, he was staring right into the face of a 7-10 on that one, Dave.
The light shaker that Bill Heflin had the first game. Same thing.
As we mentioned, we're at LaRue Lanes, and Bo, I guess with the Kentucky Wildcats in the NCAAs and doing so well, it's not hard to see why the Wildcat spirit is all over Kentucky.
That's for sure, and there are some Wildcat fans that live over here at LaRue Lanes. They are just a fantastic group of people, and what they've done is they're going to have a Wildcat singles tournament here at LaRue Lanes on May the 17th and 18th, and it's a tournament that has prizes for handicap and scratch scores. Male, female, anybody can compete, and if they want some details on it, I think Charlie at LaRue is probably better to give them than I would be at this point.
Charlie Golfus. As Bill Heflin, another strike, another day at the office for Mr. Heflin. That makes 7 in 8 frames.
Close enough.
Close enough.
It'll be 7
6,
here after
yes.
this shot. Deja vu. Tommy, you're a mind reader and don't even know.
It's pretty easy to do that with a man like Bill Heflin at the line.
The all-important 9th frame. completing 3 in a row puts Bill Heflin in the driver's seat. Jim Beckler has one and only one chance, and that's to throw the next 4 strikes. He's got to have this one.
Well, he heard you, Dave. There's 1 of 4. You can't look at the whole picture. You have to take it frame by frame. Now the winner of this match goes on, and Bo, I don't know how many more weeks Greg Lothian can ward off this competition as you get a chance to see the score there. It's tight. Beckler needs 4 strikes to win it. Greg has been an unbelievable king, and 4 weeks running. When was the last time? I've only been in Cincinnati 2 years, but we never had a king that went past 3 weeks.
Not in the last few years. We did have a 10-week reign by Dave Newkirk some years ago.
Who? Who?
Everybody thought it was Dave Newrath because Newkirk and Newrath were so close.
We bowled in several leagues together, and it was a running joke for a while. I'd shoot a 700, and he'd get his name in the paper. He'd shoot a 700, and I'd get my name in the paper. There you see it. He's finishing out with a potential strike here. We'll give him 227. Bill Heflin, going into the 10th frame, already has 228 with any sort of a pin count. There you see the split screen. Nice touch by Calvin, our director.
Calvin Washington and the boys putting on another fine show here on this day before St. Patrick's Day. You get a chance to, as we mentioned a little bit earlier about the green shirts, Bo, the boulders always look sharp every week.
Well, you know, we have a company that's working with the BPA and has been for as many years as we can remember, and that's the Howe Manufacturing Company. They make extra effort to get the bowling shirts to us every week. We call them on Monday, and by Friday the shirts are ready. And I mean, sometimes they have to order them from out of town, and they have to really go to a lot of extra work to get them here.
What's the name of the guy that does that service for us?
Jim Chastang.
Jim Chastang.
And his sons, Dennis and Scott.
Jim's been around for a long time. I've ordered several bowling shirts. In my younger years, I even perhaps ripped 1 or 2 of them. Through no fault of his, that's for sure.
Dave Newrath, who's since mellowed, but we may see that young lion come out next week if the name still stays on the board.
That would be.
You kind of like Stumps lanes, don't you, Dave? You have a certain partiality to those lanes.
I've had the good fortune of holding the high house average over there for, well, since week 1 of our bowling season. Currently averaging 215, which I think is like second high in the city. I don't know. I just really enjoy the small house feel there, and bowling with some people I really enjoy. It's a great game.
Well, we wish you the best of luck next week. As game number 2 is history in week number 8 of Pewter Post TV King of Bowling. Bill Heflin, a winner in this one at 268, 1 pin shy of the high score this year on TV King. He'll go on to take on the king for 4 weeks running, Greg Lothian, when we come back right after this.